What ways would you recommend just self-care in this pandemic?
General self-care.
Mm-hmm.
That one's can be kind of hard because I believe in like tailored self-care.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd always ask like what are things that I'd say first maybe address your like love language. So there are 5 love languages.
Hmm.
And if you're unfamiliar with these, it's by the Gottman Institute.
I
But
love Gottman. He's
oh
so
yeah.
awesome. Yes. Four Horsemen. Oh, it's my shit.
Yes. Okay, so okay, we can chat. All right. So it's physical touch, words of affirmation, gifts, acts of service, and
Quality time.
quality time.
Boom, we got it right here.
I have really poor memories, so everyone knows, which is why despite how many times I will talk about these things, I'm still like, which ones?
Yeah.
Anyways, so think about which one of these do you receive love the most in, right? How do you receive love? And that can be a place to kind of curb your self-care routine. So I'll give an example for myself. Physical touch and quality time are my top love languages, which are things that can be hard to do in isolation.
Mm.
So one, physical touch, I like work out and I hug myself, right? And I sleep with like heavy blankets, right? I mean, I have a partner, but not everyone does. And sometimes you just need to like hold on to yourself, right?
Mhm.
Or take extra time to take care of your body and self. So it means when you come out of the shower, take time to lotion your whole body, right? Assuming everyone's lotioning.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
No reason to be ashy for COVID.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Um, but take time and lotion your body. Like do your nails, do your feet, right? Massage your scalp. Like pay attention to your body and what it physically needs. Be attuned to the different movements and curves of it. In terms of quality time, this could be because I'm an only child, but I just need to be alone and hear quietness. And
Mhm.
if I can just sit in silence, I can just think. And it feels like quality time with myself. If I go for a walk by myself, I'll just kind of look around like, what am I feeling, thinking, experiencing? It's like a check in with yourself, your best girlfriend, who is you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But kind of interested, like, what do you guys is like love languages? Like, what do you feel, connects you to yourself best, or do you feel love through?
My love languages are, I believe, words of affirmation and quality time.
Hmm. So I think words of affirmation is a really nice one, actually,
Mm.
because you can have conversations with yourself. Sometimes it's frowned upon in society to like affirm yourself or big up yourself, especially I think as women of color, we're told to be small in response to society because our bigness and our confidence can make others feel threatened. But I applaud words of affirmation as a love language. So that means you look Farrah dead in the mirror and you say whatever you need to hear.
Mm.
Like, girl, your curls are popping. Okay, I see you. All right, brows. Okay, all right. Like, I know. I will say, Farrah, though, inside secret, I've been trying to get my eyebrows as like thick and beautiful as yours, and the COVID has helped.
Yeah,
Because,
great.
thank you so much.
I've had to conceal mine because they look raggedy.
But talk to yourself, like say what you need to hear, right?
Mhm.
Like, and this is what I mean also by the getting dressed. Go to work, whether it's virtual or in person, and put on a really cute outfit.
Yeah.
And on your way out, look in the mirror and say, oh, I see you. Okay, who you going to work for? There's nobody else. What you doing? Maybe even play it up, like put on a really cute shoe, knowing no one will see your shoes, right? Like just tell yourself what you need to hear. And if it feels hard to tell yourself, out loud, you look good today, you're really smart, you're doing a great job, then write yourself a letter as well. My favorite is to write myself letters in 6 months. So like write letters to my future self and sometimes to my past self, depending on what I need. And
Mm.
I'll date it, right? So that I know to read it in 6 months if I feel like I need to tell myself something in the future. And it would be like, hey, Christina, today you found out this and today you felt this. And what you really need to know is X, Y, and Z. And that you're trying your best and that you're doing a good job. And if it's not a good job, it's fine because it's your best. And that's all that matters. And tomorrow will feel better. And in a month will feel lighter. And in 4 months, you won't think about this. And in 6 months, you'll be stronger because of this.
Mm.
Right?
I love that. Okay. I was like, who got some stamps? Oh man, I love that.
A great way to, connect with words of affirmation. You're telling yourself what you need, you're supporting yourself for the future, and you're giving yourself future words of affirmation. Because I'll say, for personal experience, when I've gone back and read my 6 months ago letters, I've almost brought myself to tears. I was like, okay, girl, you were really there with me. Like, we were spending quality time with ourselves. And I helped myself feel seen. Like, I was able to validate myself in retrospect. And it can be a really powerful experience.
I love that. I never would have thought to send a message to your past self. The future I've thought about, but I am really interested, if I sit down, what would I say to my past self and how that would look? I love that.
Yeah, when you talk to your past self, you almost develop what do you call a persona of almost like a mentor.
Yeah.
Or kind of like a mother, right? And while you can have a loving mother, everyone out there, like, you can have a loving, supportive mother, it doesn't mean that they're saying exactly what you need to hear, the way you need to hear it, when you need to hear it. And if you don't have a loving, supportive mother, but maybe that person's trying their best, like, you can mother your former self. So like, hey, 17-year-old Christina, that was wild, but like, it wasn't the worst of you, right? It wasn't the best of you, but it wasn't the worst of you. Here's how you've grown since then. And here's what I needed to know back then that I didn't. And I'll make sure maybe my daughter knows. Right? But kind of mother your younger self and give yourself what you needed. And when you read back on it in that moment or later, you will be hearing the words of affirmation that you've always wanted.
Yeah.
Afnan, what are your love languages?
After hearing, I think acts of service has been one of the emerging ones. Quality time for me when I was first coming out of school was really important, because I went to school a little far away and I really just wanted to feel connected. But when I'm hearing from the both of you, I think acts of service has definitely climbed to the top. And so something that I've been doing is like
9 o'clock.
What?
I forgot my computer does that every hour.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry. Please.
No, okay. I just was like, I know y'all heard that voice. Okay. What I was gonna say is, since we've been in quarantine, what I've realized is that acts of service is really my love language. I think when I was younger, it was definitely more quality time. But since we're always together these days, acts of service for myself has been really important. When I prioritize doing stuff like my deep conditioning or my nails or waxing or whatever it is to make me feel like my normal, right? So my Sunday, self-care routines are very important. And I've had to learn some of them, because I would usually like go to get like my nails done. And now just even taking time to like, sit with myself and use my favorite lotion and just taking my time on those days of the week, that's really kept me sane. And the weeks that I forego that, literally it feels like my week is spiraling out of control. And as soon as I do that for myself, or I sit and have a really good meal and I'm just like, oh, I did this for myself with love, I always feel more centered. And so I think it's been difficult with COVID to try to do that when, kind of like we talked about before, like my routines are all over the place. But kind of through this conversation, it's helping me realize and become more intentional. And I think that's something I'm going to work on, is to do more of that, both for myself and then also, with my husband, since we're here together, and, and observing Ramadan.
So if you know what your self-care stuff is with regard to acts of service, prioritize. But yeah, so meet your languages. And I think for everyone out there who's listening, what is your love language? And find a way to meet it for yourself. And that is your self-care routine. That's the thing that's catered for you. That's the thing you're most likely to do. And the thing that is most likely to make you feel better. So the zeitgeist would tell you, do yoga, all these other things. That didn't work for me. And if it doesn't work for you, look inwards. What is your love language, and how can you meet that for yourself? And if you're fortunate enough to quarantine with loved ones, how can maybe they help you meet it? Assuming that they're not also irritated and tired of looking at you.
I just wanted to say thank you. This conversation was super informative. And then just a really great reminder of sometimes things that we know, but when life is getting busy and in this unprecedented time, is always like a great reminder to kind of get us centered and help us make the best out of a difficult situation. So we thank you here at Rooted Black Girls. We appreciate you. We would love for you to drop your handles and for you to kind of tell our audience where they can find you if they want to hear more about this.
Of course. So my Instagram handle is at Christina.Marie.Douyon. So Douyon is Douyon. And I'm sure these lovely ladies will like post it there too.
Okay. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We're going to go ahead and close it out. But if you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you guys are following. And if you guys are listening on Spotify or Apple, make sure you check us out next week for our next episode. But until then, we'll see you later. Bye.